Yes. Good morning, students. Welcome to your English class. Previous sessions we have completed with your parts of speech, and we have completed with tenses. So in today's session, we will be doing models. So before we proceed with the explanation, let us see what is the meaning of models and where all they are used in the sentences. Now you must be knowing, must have learned in your previous classes, models are can, could, must, may. These are a few models wherein you must be knowing it. But where exactly is to be used and what is the purpose? So today we are going to see in this class. Before that, everybody knows what is a verb. Yes, what is a verb? What is a verb? Yes, verb is an action verb. It is an action word. That means in a sentence, when there is a word which tells you about an action, or it tells you about the subject who is going to make an action, that indicates that is a verb. For example, if I say I sit on the floor, this is a sentence. In this sentence, I is a subject. Then sit, this is an action word. Yes, this is an action word which tells us about what the subject is doing. Yes, please don't talk. Mute yourselves. Sit is a word which tells us about what action is being performed by the subject. So this becomes the verb. I sit on the floor. The action is being done by the doer here. That is the subject. This is called as a main verb. This is called as a main verb. If I don't write this, I on the floor. Okay, if I don't write this word sit, or if I don't put a verb in the sentence, and if it is only I sit on the floor, does it make any sense? Do you understand what is the sentence is? No, you will not follow or you will not understand what does the sentence is trying to tell us, what the subject is going to tell us. So if I put a verb that is a main verb, the sentence becomes clear. I sit on the floor. I write on the blackboard. I read the book. So the verb, the main verb which is there in the sentence tells you about the action which is done by the subject. If I change the sentence now, saying that I can sit on the floor. Now, what is the change in this? See the first sentence, I sit on the floor. The second sentence, I can sit on the floor. So, I have added can. So, this is the main verb. And what is this? This is the modal verb. So modal verb always comes before the main verb. Understood? Please keep it in mind that modal verbs always come before the main verbs. I can sit on the floor. Here it was only I sit on the floor. But in the second sentence there was a change when we add any one type of model, the sentence changes. So here the sentence is already changed. I can sit on the floor. Now let us see what is the meaning of models. Okay. Now as I told you that Models are different form of normal verbs. Here if I write here, those are the different form of normal verbs. Okay. Next will be what? It is a type of verb that is used to indicate modality. Here we say it is used to indicate. Indicate is what? It tells us. Indicate. What does it indicate? Modality. Now what is the meaning of modality? It indicates modality. Modality is nothing but the mood of the writer or the speaker. For example, I have told you the earlier sentence, I sit on the floor, I can sit on the floor. So it is telling about the mood of the speaker or the writer. That means he is just thinking about, he is just saying ki, I can sit, can or cannot. It depends on the behavior or the mood of the speaker, the writer. So modality is nothing but it is the mood. Got it? Next is what now? Now they are the special type of verbs. Models are the special types of verbs that behave irregularly. Now, they are different from the normal verbs. Normal verbs are the action words I told you: play, dance, sing, jump, eat, write, read, climb, go, these all. But these models also are verbs, but they are different from the main verb. That is the principal verb. Got it? Which are those? We will see it in the next as we come. Then these models, they give additional information. Okay. This model verbs gives additional information about the function of the main verb. These model verbs, what we will be studying, they give additional, they tell us something more, something in detail about the main verb. Without the main verb, we are not able to learn, or we are not able to justify whether the sentence is correct or wrong. Because when we just remove the main verb from the sentence goes automatically wrong. It is meaningless. As I told you, I sit on the floor. If I remove that sit from there, I on the floor, that doesn't make any sense. So this modal verb gives us additional information, as we have seen in the next sentence, that is I can sit. You see, I can, that means she can or she cannot. That depends on the modality, that is, it is used to indicate again the mood of the speaker or the writer. And they never change their forms. Never change their, what is the meaning of that? This now, they never change their form. Now when you are writing verbs, usually they change their forms. For example, sing, singing, dance, danced, dancing, eat, ate, eaten, or will eat. So we are changing the forms of the verb according to the tenses. We add ing or we add ed, talk, talked, talking, open, opened, opening. But these modal verbs do not change, they remain the same. Can, we don't say canned and canning. Must, we don't say mustard and musting. It remains the same. Can, must, should, ought to. Okay, whichever modal verbs are there, they don't change their original form, they remain the same. Only the main principal verb they change according to the tenses. Clear? This much is clear, students? Did you all follow what I explained?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, once again, just a revision before we proceed further. What are modal verbs? Modal verbs are the different forms of normal verbs. Okay, they are used to indicate the modality, that is the mood of the writer or the speaker, and they are the special type of verbs. Why? Because they never change their forms. They don't change to ed or ing. They remain the same and they give additional information about the main principal verb. That is the main verb which is there in the sentence. Clear? And which are the examples of the modal verbs now? Can, could, may, should, must, have to. Okay, these are all and some more also we will learn it as we go further. So these are few modal verbs. We will see how to use in the sentence. Clear? Is it clear this much? Shall we proceed? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. One more rule. Now we are going to see rules to be followed. Now, rule number 1.
Ma'am, stucking.
Yes? What happened? Anything to tell?
Ma'am, you are stucking.
I'm not following you.
Ma'am, you say the video is pausing.
Just a minute. Just type in the chat box. I'm not able to hear you. What happened?
Ma'am, he's saying that the video is pausing.
Pausing, huh? No, but here it is correct only.
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
हाँ, ठीक है. No problem. Okay. Now, models are used alone. What is the meaning of this? Models are used alone and are followed by the principal verb. They are followed by principal verb. Now, in a school, okay, this is a school, and who is the head of the school now? Head of the institution? The principal. Yes or no? Yes? So, here also, the same thing you can say. The principal verb is the main verb. The main, the head. And this models follow this principal verbs. Models are who now? You can say all the teachers. Okay, this is an example which I am giving you. In a school, the head is principal. So, in a sentence is a school you can say. And principal verb is what? The main verb. As the principal is the head of the institution. And then models are followed. That is means who are following? The teachers are following the principal. The same thing. Models also follow the main verb. So here I'll give you a small example. I drink lemon juice. Now this drink is what? This is the principal verb. The main verb in the sentence, because without this the sentence is incomplete and we don't have any other verb here. So this is the main verb that is called as a principal verb. Now we have to add the model here. And as I told you, models will be in their own original form. We don't have to change those original forms by adding ing or es or ed, nothing that. We have to just add a model. So how you are going to write the sentence? I can or I must drink lemon juice. What did we add now in the sentence? We have added a model. With what? With the principal verb. With the main verb in the sentence. Correct? Did you get it? How to do it? We don't have to change these models. Models are remain the same. They don't want to change the originality. It remains the same always. So please keep in mind that we cannot change to can, canning, can, must, mustard, musting. No. It is going to be in their original form, followed by the principal verb. Got it? Now we will see that they are always followed by an infinitive without to. That means when you people are writing in the sentence or when you are adding an model to the sentence, it doesn't contain to. That means if I write here, I can to drink lemon juice. Is this correct? If I add this to here, is the sentence correct? Is it making any sense? I can to drink lemon juice? No. So models are not added with this to. We are not adding any to. That means what? They are always followed by an infinitive without to. Infinitive means what? The verb. Without this to. Got it? So please keep in mind that we don't add to the models. Now, what will be the next rule now? What you need to keep in mind is yes. In a sentence, there will be a main verb plus the modal verb. Main verb plus a modal verb. She should eat healthy food. This is a sentence. She should eat healthy food. If I remove should, how the sentence is going to be? She eats healthy food. That means we have removed the model, but still we have here the main verb. That is a principal verb. And what we have added to that now? Should. This is a model verb. This should is the model verb. She should eat healthy food. Or she must eat healthy food. This is an advice which is given. We will come to that now. Okay, so these were few rules that you need to keep in mind whenever you are inserting models in the sentences. Now we will see. Now we will see use of modal verbs. How to use them in the sentence. Yes, use of modal verbs. Now, modal verbs are used to express some function. Now, in a sentence, uh, now we have learned about parts of speech, isn't it? Now, each part of speech has its own function. Nouns, pronouns, adjectives, conjunction, preposition, interjections, these all. Every word in the sentence has their own function to perform. The same thing now, when we are using modal verbs, they too have functions. Now, how they are going to function? Now, the first one here, permission. I just write down first and then explain to you. Second is what? Ability. The third is what? Obligation. Fourth is advise. Fifth is possibility. Okay, or probability. Okay, now what are these? According to these, we will be using the words, the model verbs. Okay, now if I say here, can I sit on the floor? Can I sit on the floor? What is this now? What does the sentence tell you? Yes, what does the sentence tell you? First and foremost, see that that is a main principal verb. Then see that it has a modal verb. Yes, can. Correct. It is asking a permission. Can I? Okay, it's asking a permission. Can I sit on the floor? You're asking your teacher. When teacher says yes, you can. That means the permission is granted by the teacher. One more permission you'll use every now and then in the school. What is that? What is that? May I? May I come in, ma'am? Yes or no? This is what often is used by the students. You go to washroom, you go out, you go on the ground, and then when teacher is there already in the class, you ask permission to get into the class. May I come in, ma'am? Here, come is a main verb, the principal verb, and may is a modal verb. So these two, that is can and may, are the permission. It tells us about the permission. One more is there. Could. Could I open the door? Again, open. Describing, action word. Main verb. And could, it is a modal verb. So again, here we have three types of modal verbs under permission: can, may, and could. Once again, can I sit on the floor? Asking permission. May I come in, ma'am? Again, a permission. Could I open the door? Could I open the box? Could I open the window? Again, a permission. So all this can, may, could gives us about the function is what? About the permission. Okay. We go to the next. Ability. Now again we have can and could in here. Okay, here I'll write this also. Can, may, could. Now ability also can and could. Now we will see how the sentence is framed now here. For the second one. How you are going to frame a sentence for can and could. David can speak in 4 languages. Yes, this is a sentence now. David can speak in 4 languages. Now again can is come here. Not can you tell me how the can is utilized here? Here also there is can and here there is also can. But when we have put can into these sentences told us about the permission. Can I? May I? But here it is not the permission. Here it is showing the ability. Okay, it is showing the ability. That means David is having the ability to speak in 4 languages. David can speak in 4 languages. I can perform magic tricks. Okay. I can perform magic tricks. That means here again can and can. It tells us about the ability. Okay, your caliber. What David can do, he can speak. What I can do, I can perform. So here can is used for the ability of a person. Got it? Next also we have could. So sentence for this is he could write with his left hand. That means again the ability of that particular person. What the person can do, he could write. Usually we use it for the past tenses. Okay, he could write with his left hand. That means again we are showing the ability of that particular person. Clear? The next one is obligation. The obligation is nothing but it tells us about the duty. What are your obligations? So if I say I have 2 obligations, one is towards my family and one is towards my profession. That means the duty what I am going to perform. My duty is to look after my family also, and my duty is to look after my job, after my profession, that is my co-colleagues, my institution, my students. So this is called as an obligation. Duty. Now, how you are going to frame this sentence? Which are the models you are going to use under obligations? Obligation means what? Something compulsory. Okay, something mandatory that you have to do it. That time you cannot say you can and could. Which words we are going to use for obligation? Must. Yes? Even you have obligations, right? Can you see this board down? Is the board visible here? Or shall I clean this? Okay, I'll write over here. This is about obligation. Okay, obligation, which are the words? Have to, must. You must wear your uniform to school. What is this now? Is there any choice between that? No, there is no choice. That is, it is compulsory. It is mandatory that you have to wear your uniform and then only you can go to school. Got it? When there is no option left, it is compulsory given it. That is your duty. You need to follow. You must wear a helmet to follow the traffic rules. That means you have to wear the helmet when you are riding a vehicle. Got it? So which are the sentences now we are going to see? You have to take off your shoes before entering the temple. Yes? Is it your duty or no? Do you put your footwear and go inside the temple? No. Okay. So here have to. This is an obligation. This is a modal verb. This is compulsory. You need to follow it. You have to follow the rule. That means you have to take off your shoes before going into the temple or before entering into the temple. One more I can tell you. We must wear a helmet to avoid accidents. Yes. So here again must. Again, an obligation, that is our duty, that we need to follow the rules and regulations, the traffic rules. So we must follow this. So we must wear a helmet when we are riding a vehicle on the road, so that we can avoid accidents happening on the road. Okay, so I just stop here now. We have completed with three, that is permission, ability and obligation. These three we will do it in the next session so that you don't get confused with all these things. Right? So once again, just a recap what we have done today. We have done about what are models. Models are the special kind of verbs. Okay, they are used to indicate modality, that is the mood of the writer or the speaker, and they combine with the main verb, that is a principal verb. Along with the principal verb, we add a modal verb in the sentences. For example, can, could, must, should. These are the some of the examples of the modal verbs. Then we saw about the uses of modal verbs. We have 6 here: permission, ability, obligation, advice, possibility, and probability. In this, we have taken 3 today. In permission, we have can, may, and could. Okay, can I come in? May I open the box? So, when you are using such words for asking permission, it tells us about the permission. Ability, again, can and could. Here, David can speak. I can perform. She can run. That means it shows the ability of the doer about the subject. Then we have the obligation. Obligation is nothing but the duty. Something is mandatory or compulsion that you have to follow it. Here, you have to take off your shoes before you go into the temple. We must wear a helmet on the road to avoid accidents. So these are the models what we use it for the obligations. So I hope everybody has understood what we have covered in our today's class. The remaining part we will be doing it in the next session. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.